Okay, so shout out to the Hot Sheet on Twitter for making this one of my favorite accounts. Definitely give them a follow. And so they have posted Billboard's top female solo artists of the 2010s decade. Number one, Taylor Swift. Yeah, I understand it because she was prolific during this time. So first off, she had the Speak Now album, which I really enjoy. And then she did Red, which was her country pop crossover moment. That's a really important album for her career, some of her best songwriting. 1989 really took the world by storm. That's when she fully committed to pop. She had Blank Space, she had Style, she had Shake It Off. She was everywhere. So that was a big moment for her. She got Album of the Year for this as well. She really cleaned up at the Grammys at that time. And then she did Reputation, which was successful for her as well. Not really one of my favorites by her, as you guys know. And then closing out the decade, she had the Lover album, which I feel like is underrated in her discography. So yeah, she had a fair amount of stuff that she released. She was pretty successful overall. She had some hit songs with We Are Never Getting Back Together to Blank Space. So, she had some good moments. Now at number 2 is going to be Rihanna. Not surprising in the least because she has 14 number 1 hits. And she just really cleaned up during the digital era. She had the Loud album, which had songs like Where Have You Been? She did a collaboration with Drake that I'm not really too fond of now because they can't send Drake. And then she also had Unapologetic. I believe that she had the Talk That Talk album. She did Anti. Like, there was a period of time where Rihanna was releasing, like, every single year. Like, she had so many hits, and she was very prolific. And so, yeah, I mean, it just makes sense, It was a very successful decade for her. Number 3, Adele. Yep, I mean, Adele releases, like, every 6 years, but when she does, like, she really takes the world by storm. So, during this time, we had hits such as Rolling in the Deep, Turning Tables. She had that Hello song, which was very successful. She did the 25 album. Like, Adele had some great hits during this time. Number 4, Katy Perry. I know that she had the Teenage Dream album, which was pretty successful, and had songs like Teenage Dream, Last Friday Night, and others like E.T. And then she also did the Prism album, which was pretty successful as well. That had Dark Horse off of it. And then she released the Witness album. And baby, it's been all downhill from there. But whatever, it is what it is. She had some hits looking for that. But, that's that. Number 5, Lady Gaga. I mean, she really took the world by storm whenever she came out. I know during this era is whenever she released Art Pop, which has a song Applause. I've always really liked Applause, for the record. A lot of people hate it, but I've actually always enjoyed that song. And Art Pop is, important to her discography from my understanding. I don't remember ever listening to it. She did the Joanne album, which only has like 2 or 3 good songs. I thought that's not a good album, but I like the song A Million Reasons though. She did the Star is Born soundtrack, which I remember. So, she had some good moments through this decade. She had some hits. So shout out to Lady Gaga. Number 6, Ariana Grande. I mean, this is the decade that she debuted in. And to be at number 6, I mean, hey, that's not half bad. She had Problem. She had The Way with Mac Miller. So she had the debut album. And then she had her sophomore album, My Everything, which is when she really went pop. And then she did Dangerous Woman. So she did the Side by Side collab with Nicki. She had Dangerous Woman, the song. She had Into You. So, those are some moments from that album. And then she had the Sweetener album, which I absolutely love. It's literally one of my favorite Ariana Grande albums. It's her best. It's her best. That simple. Very experimental, but, I always stood by Sweetener. Ren the Song is one of my favorite Ariana Grande songs of all time. Get Well Soon, a masterpiece. Sweetener the Song, like, that's a very strong album in my opinion. And then she did Thank You Next, which was very successful with the title track. And yeah, I feel like the album's grown on me. I didn't used to really care for it at first, but, I like it more now, I will say. That was a good moment for her. She did 7 Rings, which was a big moment. Number 7, Nicki Minaj. I know that she had the Pink Friday album, which had like super bass. She had that song Stupid Ho. She released the Pink Print, which I remember listening to at the time. I remember liking the album at the time. I never listened to Queen. And I know she had a few songs off of that. Number 8, Pink. I believe she had some hits with that guy from Fun and some other stuff, but I don't really listen to Pink albums, so, no disrespect. And then at number 9, Beyonce. Yup, and yup. We had the 4 album, which was really different from what was going on at that time, and I'm glad that she released that because the EDM and the dubstep, like, that just is so not my moment listening back to it. But, what she did with 4, R&B classic right there. She ate. She had Self-Titled, which literally changed the release date to Friday now. That's because of Beyonce. And a real surprise. I'm like, oh, she ate. She did Lemonade, which I absolutely love. That was a moment. She did the Everything Is Love album with Jay-Z as well. And yeah, so we had moments. And so, shout out to Beyonce. Beyonce's one of my favorites. Number 10 is Kesha. Shout out to her. She had some great hits during this decade. I'm pretty sure this is the decade that she had Timber with Pitbull, and I don't think that he credited her for that, so I don't think she got paid off that. And he was wrong to do that, by the way, but she had some hits. I always wish her the best, so shout out to Kesha, of course. Cardi B making it at 11, that was unexpected. It was. I know that she did Bodak Yellow, which was a big hit for her. She had the Money song, and she did a collaboration with SZA. So Invasion of Privacy was like a big album. I'm pretty sure she got like rap album of the year for that, and people felt away about that, but it is what it is. I never listened to that album because I just she has some good songs, but not really for her. Selenagomez, what did she release this decade? I don't remember what it is, and I don't care to remember. Selenagomez, just, not for me. She can't even sing anyways, so, that's my personal opinion. Some people may drag me, but I don't care. Next is Meghantrainor. I remember liking her title album whenever it came out. I remember liking her song Me Too off of her next album whenever that came out. She had some hits, but as people said, she's a one-trick pony, basically. Next up is Halsey. Don't really listen to her music. Don't really care for her particularly. I think she's gotten better as a singer as time has gone on, but her music is just never really for me. Next up is going to be Lorde. So she releases her debut album, Pure Heroine, which is one of my favorite debut albums of all time. So this was the one that had Royals on there, which was like her biggest song. She also had Team on there as well. I think that she did some stuff for like the Hunger Games soundtrack. I'm pretty sure she like curated it. So she did Yellow Flicker Beat for that soundtrack as well. And then she had her melodrama album. Should have won album of the year in my opinion, because the album ain't. But yeah, the melodrama album is her best album to this day. Supercut is a great song. I really love Liability, the Reprise. That's the one that had Greenlight on it. So I do love Lorde as artist. I think that she's great. Scorpio Things, gotta unite with that. And then last up, it says Mileycyrus. So during this decade, I know that she released Can't Be Tame, I'm pretty sure. And then she also did the Bangers album, which was very important. Adore You is one of my favorite Miley songs, so have to give that one some love. And she also did We Can't Stop. She had a collaboration with Big Sean. She did the Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pets, which I believe tanked commercial at the time. People didn't really like it. She had the Country album, which also flopped at that time. I think that we got Slide Away during this decade, which is one of my favorite Miley songs. So yeah, a lot of ups and downs through this, and I feel like that's what her career is in general. Not really one of the most consistent artists that I listen to, but still a great singer and performer nonetheless. So yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of Billboard's, top artist of this decade, and I want to know, who do you think dominated this decade most? I could see some people saying Taylor Swift. I can see some people saying Rihanna. I understand both. For me, I think I'm going to go Taylor Swift, because 1989 alone, that was an era. That was a run. You could also say Rihanna, though. And who out of here is your favorite artist? Who are you listening to the most? For me, I'm going to go Taylor, and then I'm going to go Ariana as well. And Lorde sometimes. I don't listen to Lorde all the time, but when I do, she really hits. But yeah, Taylor's definitely my most listened to artist by far. One of my favorite artists of all time for sure. 1989 is my pop Bible. Like, I love that album down. Red, I feel like, has really grown on me over time. It was a great decade for her. It really was. So, I think my pick is Taylor Swift, but let me know everything down below in the comments.